Summertime is here. It's not officially summertime yet. I mean, summertime doesn't happen until June 21st, but here in the US, the unofficial start to summer is Memorial Day weekend. And now that we're here in June, all the kids are out of school now. It's summertime. And even a lot of kids, they just graduated and now they're officially adults. They're all grown up. My daughter included. She just graduated a week ago and now she is off to her adult life. And that's the case with many kids out there who are now adults, and now they've got the prospect of college or entering the workforce or doing whatever it is that they're going to set their hearts to do. So that begs the question, what about the job market today, though? I mean, there's speculation that the job market is getting worse. If you ask a lot of people, they'll say it's obviously much worse, that it's very cutthroat to find a job these days. I've heard stories of people, they've applied to literally 1,000 different places over the last 6 months to a year, and they haven't come up with any jobs at all. There's also talks of people using AI to help them find jobs. I guess you can get an AI bot, and it will scour the internet for job listings based on what you're looking for, and it will apply on your behalf. So you can essentially apply to hundreds of different jobs with just the click of a mouse, and that's going to definitely be problematic with the employer industry when they're trying to look for their perfect candidate, because now I'm sure they're getting completely flooded with applications that are coming from AI sources. But anyway, I came up with an article that was posted on Visual Capitalist, ranked the 20 worst college degrees for finding a job. And I'm not sure if I completely agree with this, but I'll just take it at face value. It was published 2 days ago by Bruno Venditti, and graphics design from Anna Dietrichs. So these are the top 20. Anthropology appears to be the worst one with an unemployment rate at 9.4% in this field, followed by physics at 7.8%, computer engineering at 7.5%. And the list goes on. Commercial art and graphic design, they also, by the way, have the salaries here, as you can obviously see. And computer engineering, that's a pretty good salary, $122,000 a year, even though in many areas of the country, including where I live, in order to buy the average priced house in the market currently, you have to be earning a household income of $106,000 a year just to qualify for the average priced home. And that doesn't even factor in your credit and all that other stuff that goes into getting a loan for a house or a mortgage. But here, the average household income is somewhere around $68,000 or $70,000 for Tampa Bay in general. It could be slightly over that, but it's nowhere near $106,000, which to me, it sounds like a bubble. I mean, that's what it sounds like. But anyway, not without getting too far off topic. But another one, let's see here, computer engineering, computer science as well. It's over 100,000 a year, 115, with the unemployment rate sitting at 6.1%. Information systems and management, I mean, a lot of tech, a lot of IT and things like that. Although I've heard, maybe you've heard as well, that there's a lot of layoffs happening in the tech industry. I mean, anybody from a Meta, Facebook, to Microsoft and Google and just pretty much any tech company you can think of, you can go online and just type in their name, type in layoffs, and it will probably return articles showing thousands of people that have been laid off. Now, to be fair, a lot of people were hired during the whole COVID season to manage the high uptake of people using the internet for work from home, even school from home. So there were some companies, especially Microsoft, they onboarded a lot of employees to help manage Teams, Microsoft Teams, for instance, and other applications. And now that it's downsized quite a bit in its use, they've been laying off a lot of people. So that could be a reason why that it looks like the tech industry is going through somewhat of an apocalypse right now. But the unemployment rate, as it is shown here, although it's high, it's definitely higher than the average unemployment rate, which appears to be 5.5% according to this graph. At least that's how I'm reading it. But there are some down here below that number, such as international affairs. Don't know what that is. Economics, political science, industrial engineering, history, communications, journalism. So, and it's a sizable list, 20 in total. So, they're all, let's see, the lowest one is around a $70,000 a year salary. Now, that's the mid-career income. That's not the starting salary. The starting salary, I'm sure, will be substantially lower, especially if you're fresh out of college with no in-field experience with the job or the career that you're looking for, which is really important, especially for younger folks that are just getting out of high school. It's especially now that we're going into the summer. It would be a great idea to find a local company that you're not only interested in the field that they're involved with, but maybe you're interested in working with them or for them. You could go to them and offer yourself as even an unpaid intern or to shadow somebody who's working in the field. I mean, like that's pretty common in the trades. Like if somebody wants to be a plumber, for instance, they'll try to reach out to a local plumbing company and just ask if, can I just hang back and, do a quote unquote ride along with you and just kind of just observe what you're doing and see if it might be something I'd be interested in. Because you could technically, in my opinion, you could use that as experience when you're applying for somewhere. Now, if you're going to go for something like plumbing, you obviously need to get certified and you have to get certifications and all that. So, I mean, it's not as simple as just following somebody around for a couple of months and then, okay, now I'm a plumber. But I mean, I think that's a really good idea especially for the younger folks, because college degrees these days, they don't really appear to be cutting it completely. I mean, there's a lot of jobs out there. They're saying that you have to have a 4-year degree or you have to have like 5 or 6 years of experience. But I mean, a lot of it just comes down to how well that you craft your resume and how good you do in the interview. I mean, if you give a stellar rock star interview and you don't lie your ass off, then, job could be just as good as yours, potentially. So I did come up with a couple of things here. So anthropologist, for instance, that was up here at the very top of the list, anthropology. So what kind of jobs could you get with an anthropology degree? It can lead to diverse careers in fields like academia, museums, government, and even business. Specific job titles, let me make this a little bigger. Specific job titles include anthropologist, obviously, archaeologist, which I don't see that being extremely high in demand, but maybe it is, museum curator, a cultural resource manager, and various research roles. Now, the research, there could be something to that. Beyond these, anthropology skills can be applied to careers in user experience, market research, and even human resources. I'm not sure how big of a demand human resources is, but human resources, HR departments, they're all across corporate America. I know, like, not to get off topic, but the whole DEI thing that's come to light in a very big way, and how the government is trying to cut down on that because, for the most part, it's blatantly illegal. I mean, you can't discriminate based on color and sex and orientation and religion and all that. And DEI seems to pretty well cover all those bases. So they're trying to scale back on that. But anyway, traditional anthropology roles include jobs such as anthropologist, archaeologist, museum curator, cultural resource manager, and research associate. And applied anthropology roles you can find being a user experience researcher, which conducts research to understand user behavior and design products that meet their needs. I mean, yeah, I could see there being a demand for that. I mean, it's probably not extremely high in demand, but you might be able to find a job with an anthropology degree in that field. Human resources, public health specialist, international development, and other potential career paths can include a forensic scientist, librarian, social worker, journalist, teacher, advocacy manager, and communications director. I mean, these jobs here were also listed on here. I mean, there's communications, journalism. What was another one? I don't know, sociology or whatnot. So that one, I don't know. You might have to get a more specialized degree if you want to get into something like that, especially like a forensic scientist. I mean, don't they have a forensic science degree that you can specifically get? Maybe that would be an awesome job, if I'm being honest. That'd be a pretty cool job. I mean, probably messy at times, showing up to a crime scene where, I'll let you use your own imagination of how morbid it could potentially be. But I mean, still, it looks romanticized on TV, to say the least. Like, man, that'd be such a cool job to be involved with. So here's another one. Another one I came up with is the physics degree, which can also lead to diverse careers in fields like engineering, data science, research, education, and even technology. And they've got the nitty-gritty details here, like applications engineer, a web developer, cybersecurity analyst. I'm sure that's going to be in demand. I'm sure cybersecurity, I doubt the demand for cybersecurity is going to be going away anytime soon unless AI really starts taking care of a lot of the workload, which I'm not so sure. I mean, wouldn't that be interesting if about 5 years from now, so you get all the scammers and the malware folks and all these black hat hackers and all that variety, they end up creating AI software and tools to go after systems, and then you've got the opposite side of the coin, the companies and the white hat hackers and people who are trying to put a stop to all this scamming. They're employing AI to go after what the scammers are up to. So it would essentially be an online war of AI versus AI. I mean, I could easily see that being the case in the future. That would be pretty interesting, and I don't know how like effective that would really be if AI is basically just battling itself in a roundabout kind of way. But also, with a physics degree, could potentially get an optical engineer job or aerospace engineer. Research in science. So there's a list of job opportunities if you have a physics degree. I mean, some of the like data scientists, I'm sure like physics probably isn't going to cut it. You're probably going to have to, at a bare minimum, minor in something computer science related, as well as probably most, if not all, of these here, like a college professor. I mean, yeah, I guess if you have a PhD in physics, maybe you could probably be a professor. An actuary, a data analyst, a technical writer. A technical writer would be interesting. Write for I don't know, name whatever tech company. You can write their how-to manuals for putting stuff together or how to make it work. How do you make it go? You make it go. And IT consultant, nuclear engineer. That sounds kind of badass, but anyway. So that's some of the opportunities that you could potentially get with a physics degree. Another one here, I've got what jobs you can get with a fine arts degree. I mean, that sounds really vague to me, but there's quite a number of different career examples that you can go after if you have a fine arts degree. I mean, of course, there's the obvious ones like art teacher or a graphic designer, illustrator, animator, but they also have a position in the music industry. Of course, photographer. I mean, that's a given. Filmmaker, gallery manager, art therapist. Art therapist? The hell's an art? Using art to help people address mental health issues. I mean, dude, anybody can do that. Just come up with a clever name for whatever your business is and get a storefront somewhere and start offering, painting classes. I don't know how big they are. My ex and I, we did one of those one time. We went to one of these like art studio kind of places where you pay like, I don't even know what it was, like $30 or $40 a person to go in and you paint for like 2 or 3 hours. You bring your own bottle of wine and you essentially get drunk and paint. And that's all it was. I don't know why my ex was so into it, but we tried it. It was interesting to say the least. I mean, I could have done the same thing at home for free. But anyway, yeah, there's a list of positions that you could be looking for if you're into obtaining a fine arts degree. And this one is sociology. I mean, I hear all the time how sociology is one of the least in demand jobs out there, and it tends to be one of the most vague career paths, or not career paths, but degrees that you can obtain. But you can find a job with that degree with human services, social work, human resources, public policy, public relations, education, urban planning, community development. Again, I don't see, these jobs being extremely high in demand. I mean, these jobs would probably be sought after during when the economy is doing quite well, like urban planning, for instance, or community development. I mean, like, I don't think you really need a 4-year degree to help improve your community. You just have to have good morals and good values and being rather extroverted, maybe be a member of your church. There's the obvious things that go into, being able to develop your community in a positive way. Put together like a volunteer missions, like picking up litter or trying to clean up like a playground that's in disrepair or whatever. But I mean, what do I know? What do I know? So anyway, let's see what I got here. I got another one. This one for the liberal arts degree. It actually listed it off kind of strangely here. Human resources specialist, graphic designer, teacher, management analyst, marketing manager, editor, and whatnot. So that's for a liberal arts degree. You could be a fundraiser. You could be a salesperson. I think that anybody could be a salesperson or a sales rep. I mean, a lot of those positions, they're ground floor entry level positions. So I guess if you want to go to a highly accredited university, state level, or Ivy League and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a liberal arts degree, and then you wind up being either a sales rep or a salesperson, I mean, you're going to end up being one of those people who are on TikTok complaining about how you're not going to be able to pay off your student loans for the next 60 years because you've looked all over the place and you can't find a job that makes more than like 40,000 a year, or maybe 50,000 if you're lucky, and there's just not enough money, especially in today's inflationary times when we're dealing with higher insurance and higher everything. Rent, groceries, I mean, you name it, it's gone way up. It's just absolutely crazy. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of these jobs, you probably could obtain it with just some entry-level position. I mean, even something like project management. I mean, you can start in a large company as somebody like a sales rep and just work your way through the ranks. And a lot of companies, they'll actually pay for your training to become somebody like a project manager, for instance. And as long as you sign like a 5-year contract promising that you're going to stick with the company for the next 5 years, you know, they'll pay for all your education and, you know, you're pretty well set. I mean, that a lot of people, especially younger people, they probably don't even realize that if you start with a larger company, even something like Walmart, I mean, Walmart, it's not just storefront sales. I mean, they've got a lot of, you know, in the background types of positions out there. I mean, they've got a corporate. I'm sure they have several corporate offices. So, I mean, that's one thing to consider. Of course, it's not going to happen overnight. If you get in at the ground floor at a certain company and you want to work your way up into getting more specialized positions like that, just know that there are a lot of companies out there. They're not going to require, or you don't have to go get a 4-year degree to get a higher level job within that company that you're working in. You can actually, in your own time, you can work on getting more certifications or even working towards something like an associate's degree, or you can get into whatever programs that they offer for something like project management, for instance. So that's always something to consider. And another one here is what jobs can you get with a political science degree? Sounds like a useless degree to me, but you could get a specific job title such as something in government, like a policy analyst or a legislative assistant, public affairs specialist, or a diplomat, urban regional planner with the government, even though at least with the federal government, they're trying to downsize the federal government, and I couldn't agree more. I mean, currently, as we stand today, we've got about 3 million federal government employees, which is unbelievably bloated. That is absolutely crazy. They're spending trillions of dollars a year on the federal government. Most of it is just a complete waste. But anyway, you can also get positions in law, also nonprofit work, and also other, like political consultant, public relations specialist, or a historian. I mean, a historian with a political science degree. I mean, you'd think you would get a degree in history or something. But again, what do I know? So one more here, communications degree. I mean, there's the obvious. You could be a news anchor, or you can work for your local newspaper if they even still exist. But media and journalism, that's the obvious one, but also in marketing and advertising, public relations, content creation, and other fields. So there you have it. Let me see. I think I got one more here. What else do we got here? Best college degree. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the best degrees that you can get in order to find a job. So what is the best major to get a job right out of college? For a good job prospect, degrees in engineering, especially industrial, mechanical, and aerospace, which kind of flies in the face of this list here because they've got, industrial engineering there, computer science, computer engineering. They've got these on positions with the highest unemployment rate. But yet over here on Google, it's saying that if you get a degree in engineering, that's one of the best degrees you can get for job prospects. So I don't know who to believe. I don't know. Do you believe Google or do you believe, Ranked? Or who was this again? Visual Capitalist. That's right. And I'll leave this link in the description as I always do. But anyway, so it says that these jobs are consistently strong choices. Okay. Nursing and healthcare related fields also offer high demand in job opportunities, which, nursing has always been high in demand. I don't know what the turnover rate is for nursing. It probably can't be that high because of how expensive it probably is to get a nursing degree. But anyway, finance, accounting, and management, information systems are also popular choices with strong career paths. And the strongly recommended career fields to get into with regard to a college degree would be engineering, computer science, business administration, nursing, finance, accounting, and some other fields they mention is healthcare administration, logistics and supply chain management. I could see that being probably decently in demand. General social sciences, not so much. Education, maybe, maybe not. Medical technicians, and then there's some other factors such as your personal interests, your specific career goals that you're looking for, and the trends in the job market, which I don't think that they're really teaching that in high school for students to look into the job market trends. It's not just on a nationwide scale. Now, yeah, there's a lot of young folks these days. They are moving out of state. They want to move anywhere in the country, wherever they want to live, and get a start on their own. But before you do that, you really should research that local market with regard to the job that you want, because it may not even, I mean, it would exist, but it may have absolutely no demand whatsoever. So that is definitely something to take into consideration, because not everything is on a national level. You know, certain career fields may be a lot higher in demand than in other places. Like big tech is going to be a lot more in demand in areas of California and up in Seattle than it will be in Tampa Bay, for instance. I mean, not to say there aren't any jobs like that here, but you know, you're probably going to have more luck finding not only a career in that field, depending on where you go, also how much it's going to pay you too. So here I asked Grok, what are the best degrees for finding a job today? So I did ask Google that. I just went over that, but I figured I would go to a different source and see what Grok over on X has to say. And what it says is the best degrees for finding a job in 2025, it depends on the market demand, of course, industry trends, of course, and your personal interests. But based on current data, here are the top fields with strong job prospects. And again, just like Google, it says computer science and software engineering. But according to Visual Capitalist, computer science is at an unemployment rate at 6.1%. Pays incredibly well. Computer engineering is the third from the top for the worst college degree jobs out there currently. So, you know, we're getting conflicting information here. So anyway, I'll roll with it. You know, the median salary for computer science, 120 to 150,000. I mean, these days, a lot of people, they get a job based on how much money they could potentially earn, which, I mean, that's more relevant now than ever, given our inflation issue. Nursing and healthcare is another one. I mean, I don't see that really going down anytime soon. You know, more people are getting old. Now, we are going through a replacement rate crisis where we're having fewer kids than ever before, and now we're below replacement rate, which means unless we continue letting immigration come through to replace our numbers, then natural-born Americans, our population is in decline. It's actually in pretty sharp decline. And it's not just here in the U.S., it's all across the West. So there will be a period in time, and I don't know if we're at that time where younger adults should be taking this into consideration, but if our replacement rate continues down this path, then the demand for nursing jobs specifically will start to go down, because there's just going to be fewer people needing medical treatment over a long period of time. Now, that's probably not something to worry about right now, but I'm sure 20 years, 30, 40 years down the road, I'm sure it will be a big factor that you will see a substantial decline in demand for nursing jobs, because there's just fewer people out there. And if there's fewer people, then fewer people getting sick, fewer people needing healthcare in general and whatnot. But another field here is data science and analytics. And why is that? Because businesses rely on data for decision making. Duh. Data scientist roles are expected to grow 36% through 2031. That's substantial. So that might be one to maybe invest your time with and see what you can come up with. But you can get a job as a data analyst, business intelligence analyst, and machine learning engineer, which, I mean, that begs the question, AI. Is AI going to replace those positions? I mean, if it's not, then, I mean, if you're interested in being a business intelligence analyst or a machine learning engineer, I mean, I would assume that the university level is already getting AI intense with regard to your education. And if they're not, then you really should be devoting a sizable amount of your free time into learning the inner workings of AI today, because I'm sure AI is going to be very, very quickly integrated pretty heavily with not only those two, but many other jobs out there. It's kind of hard for most people to really wrap their head around as to how involved AI will get with all of these positions. Some people say that AI is going to replace everybody. It's all going to be automated. I don't think so. I mean, there's only a limit to what computers can do with regard to replacing humans. And it's already backfiring in a lot of places, like in Klarna, for instance. Klarna's that buy now, pay later company where you could buy a I don't know, a Big Mac combo meal, and you can buy it as a buy now, pay later thing. Essentially, you can break your combo meal into 4 payments and then make a payment every 2 weeks. So, if you don't have like the $15 to pay for, you and whoever else you might be with, and you don't, or you just don't want to pay it up front, you can use Klarna, and it'll break your payments down into 4 separate payments. Now, Klarna, they're heading downhill pretty quick. Their financials are looking terrible, but that's beside the point. But Klarna, they laid off a whole bunch of employees in their phones department, their customer service, and they replaced it with AI. And they've gotten this massive uptick of angry customers, really pissed off because this AI bot is not helping them in the way they want. I mean, at the end of the day, people want to speak to a real person. And Klarna is finding out the hard way because now they're trying to rehire, I don't know about everybody that they let go, but they're trying to rehire most of them. And are they having much luck with it? I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, there's only so much, in my opinion, that AI can do. And yes, they do say it's going to exponentially get more and more sophisticated and more realistic. I mean, I guess only time will tell as far as that goes. But as it stands right now, at least when communicating verbally with AI over the phone, it's not really cutting it these days. I mean, not if you ask Klarna, at least. So anyway, business administration with tech focus. Let's see, versatile degrees with applications in high-tech driven industries. They have MBAs with specializations in tech or analytics that are highly sought after. Pretty decent salary, up to $140K. That's incredibly well, in my opinion. But you can get a project manager career, operations analyst, or a tech consultant if you go into business administration with a focus on technology. And the key considerations to wrap this up: market trends, tech and healthcare dominate due to digital transformation and demographic shifts. The soft skills include communication, adaptability, and problem solving that will boost your employability across a number of different fields. Yeah, definitely communication. You have to be able to speak well with other people. I mean, that's kind of the case no matter where you're going to end up. Problem solving for sure, but yeah, definitely adaptability. You do have to be pretty easy to adapt to change or easygoing. And yeah, I mean, even the field that I work in, they're changing stuff all the time. They're changing the applications we use. For instance, like Windows 11 it's been rolled out. So there's a whole bunch of changes that we have to adopt with regard to just that alone. And it gets really frustrating, but you just have to roll with it. And if you're not easy to change, especially in things like tech, then you're really going to be screwed. And nobody likes, I don't know about nobody, but a lot of employers don't like to hire somebody who won't easily adapt to change. And I would think that almost everybody's on that bandwagon by now, especially now that we're in 2025. So anyway, certifications, pairing degrees with certifications such as AWS for tech or PMP for project management can enhance prospects. And your location can have a significant factor on what you're looking for. As I mentioned before, job demands, they rise by region, or they vary by region, such as the tech hub, San Francisco, Seattle. They favor STEM degrees, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. And if you're going into a university and if you're focused on earning money, and if you've got the smarts, and if you're even mildly interested in computers or engineering, you definitely want to get into a STEM field: science, technology, engineering, math. That's where the money is. That's where you're going to get a fairly good salary right out of the gate. As soon as you get your degree and you find yourself in the job market, you probably will be making north of 50, 60, 70K. And then from there, the sky's really the limit. But when it comes to those like softer degrees, like political science or liberal arts, like those kind of degrees, I mean, you could go on TikTok, for instance, or even here on YouTube, and you can listen to people. There's compilation videos of people saying that they got a degree in those fields and they can't find anything to save their life. They wind up being a barista at Starbucks, or they wind up working cashier at like Target or something. And a lot of those people who are working in these everyday retail settings, they've got 4-year degrees. A lot of them even have master's degrees in certain fields, and they just did not use it. And they're just working at whichever place that they could just find a job. And maybe some of them are lazy, or maybe some of them really truly have had a very hard time trying to find something in their field, because I'm sure it's oversaturated. I mean, how many universities offer liberal arts or political science, for instance? I mean, I'm sure just about every state level university probably has that program that I'm sure hundreds of students are enrolled in. And I mean, I don't know if the government should get involved with that, but I really think there should be some just common system out there that keeps track of how many of those jobs are currently available out in the field, and how many universities are offering that program, because there really should be a cap on that. There should be no reason why a university is offering this program to an unlimited amount of students, and let's say 1,000 students signed up for that career path, or for that degree, but the job market is showing that, I don't know, like only 50,000 people are hired per year for that particular field. But you've got dozens and dozens of colleges who are giving out this degree to thousands of students per college in some cases, and they are absolutely way oversaturating the market. They're flooding the market with all these degree holders, and there are just simply not enough of those positions out there. But there should be some, I don't know, some regulatory entity. I mean, you'd think that would be something that the Department of Education would handle. That would be at least one good thing that you can point to the federal Department of Education with regard to that, because they definitely should be regulating that. And I think that's just clear-cut common sense, because, yeah, there's a lot of graduates out there who got their degree and they can't find anything to use it for, either because it's just a useless degree, that there's just nothing out there that's looking for somebody holding that degree, or there's just none of them to be had. They've all been filled. And a lot of those degrees are probably held by people who want to do that for the rest of their lives. So they're going to be sitting in that position for decades in many cases. So, I mean, I guess that's something to take into consideration. But anyway, I'll stop ranting. That's all I got. So thanks for watching, and see you later.